I'm Nick Altmeyer with linkinglewiscounty.com. We're here this afternoon at Lowville Fire Department just to talk a little bit about how the water emergency here in the village of Lowville is impacting the fire department and some of the measures that the fire department has put into place. So we have Joe Austin here, who's the assistant chief with the fire department, and Joe's just going to talk a little bit about some of the measures that they're taking.
Yes, thank you, Nick. So from the fire department standpoint, the village water emergency does have a little bit of impact on us. We've decided that rather than hooking to the hydrant system and tasking the village system, we're going to start bringing in tanker shuttles should there be a large fire within the village. So in order to do this, it took a little coordination from some of our neighboring departments. So as of last night, we put Casterland, Martinsburg, Glenfield, and New Bremen on automatic dispatch for all structure fires within the village of Lowville. And basically what this means is they would be tasked with bringing tankers into the village so that way we can keep our water supply where we need it to be to do the operations that we're conducting at the time. We do have 2 tankers of our own which normally would not roll to the village if there was an incident in the village, but because of this they will be responding to all incidents in the village now as well. So that will allow us to keep the water supply without actually hooking to the hydrant system within the village of Lowville.
Okay. So when a call comes in for the potential that there's possibly a structure fire going on in the village, that means all 5 departments are going to be automatically dispatched to the call at the same time just to make sure that
yes.
Sufficient water.
Yeah, that's correct. How we have it laid out right now is they're going to be automatically dispatched. So right when we're getting dispatched, they'll be dispatched as well. And that will allow them to give them time to get their tankers rolling and get it into the village. And because of how close they are and how efficient they are at getting their equipment out the door, we shouldn't have a water problem within an actual incident, because by the time our tankers are emptied, their tankers should be just about rolling into the scene. And then what we decided to do as a fill site is we're going to be setting up over at Beaches Bridge right at the boat launch. That will be our closest constant water supply that we could use, and that would allow us to fill tankers and get them back and forth into the village, in and out of the village quickly and efficiently. So from a resident standpoint, what we want to get out there is that if there is a fire in the village, just know there is going to be increased traffic. We're going to have tankers coming in and out of the village as they go out to the fill sites and as they're coming in from neighboring departments. So there will be increased traffic from that aspect. And we also want to reassure the village residents that we are doing everything we can to make sure that we can remain as efficient as we can be should an incident arise. We've been in close contact with village officials, and they're going to inform us as soon as the water levels are safe again. And once that is, we can take the automatic mutual aid off, but until then we're going to keep doing what we can do to keep this water issue at bay from the fire department standpoint.
And outside of an actual fire, what other instances how else does the water issue impact the fire department in general? Are there other things that you can't do because of the water emergency, or?
It doesn't really impact much other things that we do here at the fire department. We have put a hold on washing our trucks until the water shortage is done. Normally we like to wash them every time they come back from a call, but for now, until the water shortage issue has been taken care of, we're going to put a hold on that. Other than that, for fire department functions, we pretty much are able to handle what we need to handle.
And then obviously, as we know, there's some contributing factors that have led to the water emergency, and part of it is the lack of rain and the somewhat drought conditions that are occurring right now. So I think you wanted to talk a little bit from a fire department standpoint on some of the things that people can do to ensure that they're not starting fires.
Yes, it is important to note that we are still very dry out there. The ground conditions, even with the rain that we have gotten in the past few days, it's not enough to saturate into the ground and make it a good wet solid ground. So it's very dry out there. So if you are conducting any open burning that are legal, cooking fires, things like that, just be real careful. Make sure you have some sort of water source, either a 5-gallon bucket of water or something. Make sure you're always out there monitoring it. Even once you think the fire is out, you should be checking it to make sure there's nothing smoldering or spreading, because once the fire spreads from the original area of origin, it can take off real quick in this dry condition, and the heat and wind conditions can take it, and it can do all sorts of things. Fires has a mind of its own, that's for sure.
Okay, Joe, well, we appreciate your time and bringing the residents up to date on what's going on from the fire department perspective. Was there anything else that you wanted to add that we didn't cover?
No, I think I'm all good. I just wanted to again reassure the residents of Lowville that we do have the water condition. We're monitoring it, and we are taking measures that we need to take to make sure we can still conduct our operations. And again, I just want to thank the neighboring departments for being willing to be put on that automatic dispatch and be willing to bring their resources into the village to make sure we can conduct safe and efficient operations.
Great. Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Nick.
Yep.